Welcome to Hospo Health. My name's Charles Badenack. I'm a financial advisor with Main Street Financial Solutions in Hobart, and I'm joined by my colleague Michael Fox. Thanks for joining me, Michael.
Not a problem.
Now today we're going to be talking about game-changing financial decisions. Now, as an employee, there are many things that you can do that actually fundamentally change the financial destiny of your life. Now, Michael, as you're living as an emerging Gen Y professional, what are some of the game-changing financial decisions that you implement in your day-to-day life?
A key one is obviously making sure that you spread all your eggs around in different baskets. So having a diversified mix of whether it's property, shares, even some people now have some exposure to crypto and that sort of thing, because not everything moves in the same tangent. So some are going.
Well, you're not recommending crypto, are you? We don't recommend things.
No,
in these videos,
there's no personal advice on this video. Obviously, in just automating expenses, so there's no you don't get caught offside by a big large one-off bill.
So you're setting regular direct debits up from your account for things.
Yep.
And what about, there are some micro investing tools that, again, we're not recommending them, but there are that have come on over the last few years.
Yeah, so some pretty handy ones as well, where you can kind of automate savings, so you can have a regular amount come out of your bank account. You can have, there's things called roundups, where every time you use your card, it takes a certain amount off. You kind of don't see it. It's like taking your digital loose change, so you don't really see it come out in dribs and drabs. But then when you check, once a month or every couple of months, there's actually a reasonable amount in there.
And I suppose a key one also we talked about, always borrow for appreciating assets, pay cash for depreciating assets, and that's we've seen a lot of people get into a mess doing that, haven't we?
Yeah, particularly younger people as well.
Yeah, and I suppose I'll just add a couple of others in terms of just salary sacrificing small amounts is an important one. Capping your credit card limit. Be wary of joint debts. Make sure if you're involved with in a transaction with someone, make sure you feel very comfortable with that, because you could be left carrying the can under the joint and several liability provisions.
Yep.
But I think there are really sort of 5 game changer financial decisions you've got to get right. So really your life's a reflection of the decisions you make over time. So, but I think the big 5 are, so buying a home, which we've touched on previously, but I think having children, now that's a lifelong commitment in a sense. And so recent estimates put it, raising a child from sort of birth to 18 at $600,000. So it's important you're there for the long haul with that. And I suppose that the other one is further study. So there comes a point, doesn't it, in terms of when you've studied, it doesn't actually add anything to your bottom line, but it can be quite expensive. So what the heck is 10 grand a year now? Is it?
Yeah, generally, depending on what
course. So 5-year course, $50,000, and if it doesn't add anything, and you're paying interest on that to the ATO, that can be quite expensive. So that can be like a second mortgage for you. The long-term relationship, we often talk in jest about that, but you can halve your outgoings going into a relationship in a sense, but you can halve your asset base when you leave the relationship, can't you, Michael, unless you get it right? So that's an important one.
It is, it's quite a key one.
And probably one of the key things where we've got spender versus saver, haven't we? That's I suppose the 5th one is probably the relationship breakdown, which hopefully never happens, but unfortunately statistics will say 40% of Australians it happens to, and from past experience, no matter how much you earn or how big your asset base is, if you have to halve it 2 or 3 times in your life, it gets pretty nasty.
Yep. With
those decisions, though, you can make it, if you get them wrong, you can make a bit of a mess. Is there anything you want to add in relation to that, Michael?
I suppose it's all relative as well. So the person that earns $50,000 a year but only spends 40 is actually more well off than the person that earns $200,000 a year but spends 250. So it's really about controlling your expenses and being across your affairs.
Yeah, and I suppose in closing, I'd just like to add that your financial position is really a reflection of the decisions you make over a long period of time. So rarely is your financial position reflected by one-off events such as a lottery ticket win or finding oil in your backyard or something like that. So it's important to make a series of small right decisions over a long period of time, and that's what really will give you financial independence.